Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be going over my January fragrance tray. Super stoked about these, so let's get right into it. So first off, we're talking about Althaïr by Parfums de Marly. And this starts off with citrus and spices. It's a fresh, spicy fragrance. It's an aromatic vanilla fragrance. It's slightly musky. Overall, I think it's a crowd-pleasing and simple release. There's nothing too complicated about it, and I think its simplicity is where its charm is hidden. I love this on a man, but I especially love to wear it myself. Overall, it's a very straightforward, aromatic, vanillic, citric, kind of fresh, spicy scent that I absolutely adore. You're sure to get compliments with this one. Next up, we're going to be talking about my beloved Vanilla Woods. This I got in December of 2022, so she's been in my collection a little bit longer than most. And this is a very beautiful vanilla scent. It opens up with a juicy pear in the opening. I find that there's something kind of smoky and almost borderline dark in this fragrance, especially in the opening. Notes of vanilla, caramel, amber, pear, as well as rose. It's just an overall comforting, very easy reach, beautiful scent. I always wear this when I'm looking for a little bit of comfort or when I'm looking to chill at the house. It's such a stunning fragrance. And I also love the fact that it comes from a clean brand. Seven Virtues is a clean brand, and I really love that. This is really good for stress relief, just for calming yourself down, just for having a chill kind of laid back day. The next fragrance I'm going to be talking about is a fragrance I actually did not like for starters. I had a sample and I remember my first impressions, I filmed it and I just was not feeling it at all, and then I found myself just being so intrigued and I kept coming back to the sample, kept re-smelling this, and before I knew it, my sample was pretty much gone. So I went ahead and got this full bottle. I just find it to be such an intoxicating scent, and this is Soie Malaquais by Dries van Noten, and this is a very beautiful, luxurious scent. It's creamy and silky, but also nutty, and it feels a little bit fresh with that bergamot in the opening for me. This literally smells like luxury in a bottle. So to my nose, I mostly get the bergamot, the silk, and I do get a little bit of nuttiness from the chestnut. I feel like I'm fairly anosmic to some of these notes. I'm not really smelling the cacao, and there are some other notes listed, but I just really am not getting that. I'm mostly getting like a clean, silky, nutty, kind of warm, cozy, luxurious scent, and it has such a charm about it. And the bottle is stunning, so I just adore this scent, and I'm very happy that I put it on my tray this month. We're going to be talking about Lira. A lot of you guys know her, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but essentially this smells like a lemon pound cake or a lemon cookie. And this is so beautiful. So I find that this one does not really project that much. It's mixed beautifully and everything, but it's not a huge projector, at least in my opinion. Very beautiful nonetheless. I do actually have a similar fragrance also on my tray this month, and one of them is most likely going to be decluttered by the end of the month, and this fragrance is Sauna by Blend Oud. So these quite literally are one-to-one the same exact notes. I find that Sauna projects a little bit more, and overall I find myself reaching for this one more. I like the scent trail overall. I feel like it's just more intense, more pungent, more projecting, and I love how much sweeter it is. My gripe with this is that I feel like Lira is much better blended. I will have to say that. And also Sauna is more linear. I find that in the opening, especially when I was at the top of my bottle and, you know, I hadn't gotten down and had it macerate and everything, when I first got it, it smelled a little bit of cleaner, only for a few seconds. I would say the first 15 seconds, so it wasn't anything that really truly bothered me. But I noticed that that did go away as my bottle sat, but the opening still very much is much sharper than Lira. But overall, I like the projection better on this one, but the longevity is better on this one. And I will have a comparison coming up here soon, because I have a lot more lemon gourmands than I'd like to admit, so I might as well help somebody with that. But yes, I do find myself reaching for Sauna more nowadays, but both are on my tray, and hopefully I can declutter one by the end of the month after I've made my decision. This next one is newer to my collection, and this is Ristretto Intense Cafe, and this is so beautiful. This is my first full-sized Montale, which I'm super excited about. I absolutely love these bottles. This opens up with like a beautiful roasted dark coffee, and then it turns into a beautiful sweetened rose. It has notes of caramel, various notes of rose, vanilla, musk, and amber. And it's also a beast mode projector. I really like this fragrance. It is newer to my collection. I did sample it a little bit, but honestly I find that the coffee is much stronger in my full-size bottle than it was in my sample, which I actually am really happy about. But yeah, this is just a really stunning fragrance, beast mode fragrance, and I have been obsessed with it lately. Next, we're gonna talk about Lattafa, Khamrah, Qahwa, and I'm sure you guys have seen this all over TikTok, all over YouTube. It was released late in 2023, and this is like the original Khamrah, which is a sweetened, datey, cinnamon, beautiful, just amazing scent. It's beautiful, very sweet, very yummy, and I just adore it. But this one is a little bit darker, a little bit sweeter in my opinion, and I cannot tell you which Khamrah I prefer. I honestly don't know, because while they are similar and you could tell that they are flankers, there is a distinct difference between the two. So this fragrance in particular is sweet, sugary, fruity. You get a heavy dose of coffee. It smells like the holidays. So I am loving this a lot more than I thought I would. I do think it's a real gem. I do want to see if the lasting power gets better when it as it ages. I've heard with Lattafa fragrances you do have to let them age in order to get the full integrity of the fragrance. As of right now, I'm pulling about 3-4 hours. I think I did get up to 5 or 6 the other day, and that's just not preferable. I mean, granted, it is a very affordable fragrance, so I'm more than happy, but I've heard some people say they're getting like 12 hours of out of this, and if that's true, I cannot wait to get that out of this bottle. But this is a very great choice. I have been enjoying this. And yes, the next fragrance on my fragrance tray that we're going to talk about is Bonbon by Viktor&Rolf. I bought this blindly at the beginning of my fragrance journey. I think it's a sweet designer fragrance. It has one of my favorite florals in there, which is orange blossom and jasmine. I love both of those florals. It also has notes of caramel, and it is a citric floral, slightly gourmand-ish fragrance with a woody base. So I feel like this is really easy to reach for, really easy to wear, especially if you do like florals, specifically sweet ones. I feel like this could be right up your street. This is such a nice fragrance. Like I said before, it's nothing groundbreaking, but I don't see anyone like truly hating this fragrance. I would consider this blind buy safe just because it's such a nice, beautiful caramel floral fragrance. It's really pretty. Like I said, it has a woody base, and it's just nice. I enjoy this a lot, and as you guys can tell, I do have a dent. It's like right here. I don't know if you guys can tell, but yeah, no, this is a nice fragrance, and I definitely enjoyed wearing it. Next, we're gonna talk about a cult favorite. She doesn't need too much introduction, but this is Cheirosa 71. This is my favorite by far of all the Sol De Janeiros. This literally smells like a toasted macadamia nut vanilla cookie with caramel. It is so gourmand. One of the most crowd-pleasing gourmands. I feel like some people have mentioned it smelling of popcorn. Yeah, I could get that. I feel like I could understand why people would say that. It's an intoxicating body mist for an amazing price, and I feel like it's a staple. I feel like if you're going to look into Sol De Janeiro, you should look into this one. This one's so yummy, especially if you love gourmands. So the next fragrance on my fragrance tray is 1111 by Lake Skye. This is a very beautiful skin scent. It's a woody, musky skin scent. It's really just your skin, but better. It's ozonic, ambery, musky. And I feel like this one will actually be an upgraded bottle for me later. I know I have not used too much of it yet, but every time I do, I find that I'm just so happy. I feel clean, I feel beautiful, and I feel like this is really one of the best skin scents. I just really, really adore this fragrance for sure. 1111 is for somebody who's looking not to do too much, or say you suffer from migraines or something, but you're still a frag head at heart, that would be a good choice for you. So the next fragrance I'm talking about, I've mentioned on this channel before, and it's Croissant Cafe by Versatile Paris. This is one of the most beautiful cozy perfume oils that I have in my collection and also have ever smelled. This starts off with a burst of warm, dark brew coffee. It's really strong. There's a hint of creamer in there. I feel like sometimes I can almost smell like a plain croissant with like maybe a little bit of butter, very flaky and dry, but maybe with the slightest hint of butter. And I've only begun picking up on that recently, actually. It's woody. It also has a tonka dry down. It has a sesame note that I adore in this fragrance. It's toasted for sure. It has a lactonic quality. Overall, it's just a really, really nice perfume oil. And I know this looks really small, but I have used this so much and there's hardly a dent in there. So yes, this is Croissant Cafe by Versatile Paris. If you have not checked this out, I highly recommend. I've been loving it on my perfume tray this month. Oh my gosh, guys, I am so happy to talk about this one. It's the 2023 release of Wonder Woman. I absolutely adore this fragrance. From House of Sillage. I think it might actually be my #1 or tied for first place along with Hufflepuff, but this opens up fruity, specifically raspberry, balsamic. It's very deep and warm and ambery and a little bit spicy. I think there's some pink pepper up top. I think this is cozy and seductive and just beautiful overall, and it has the most intoxicating vanillic dry down. I love the way it smells, especially like when the tolu balsam and the vanilla are just like really projecting together. I find that this lasts a really long time. It projects very well. It leaves an intoxicating scent trail in the air. I have really, really come to love Wonder Woman. Yeah, I've been obsessed with it this month. I'm really, really happy this is on my tray. The next fragrances that I have to talk about are just samples, and I haven't gotten nearly as much use out of them, so I'm just gonna breeze through them really quickly. But first off, I have Vanilla Matrimony by Chanceux Parfums. I'm actually considering getting a full bottle of this, but this is a very beautiful sugary cake scent. This is like a vanilla wedding cake with so many extra doses of vanilla plus sugar. This is seriously so yummy. This has notes of sugar, cake, vanilla, absolutes, tonka bean, butter, more vanilla with a side of vanilla. So this is just really a gorgeous vanilla cake scent, and I have not smelled a vanilla cake scent done like this before. I really like it, and you guys should definitely go check out Chanceux Parfums. I'm not affiliated, I've just received samples from them before, just to clarify. Next up, this is not typically something that I would talk about on my channel. This isn't like my kind of fragrance, but I actually got a sample of this and I'm really intrigued by it. It's La Tierra del Rayo by Fueguia. I hope I'm saying that correctly. But essentially it's like a red wine, tobacco, woody scent. I find it to be seductive, and it's almost like you can't really tell what you're smelling once it hits the skin. For me, predominantly, I'm really getting woody notes, wine, and I'm also getting tobacco, but the rest of the notes really escape me. And when I'm talking about woody, I'm talking about like a pungent red wine sitting in a barrel type of woody. And when I'm talking about tobacco, I'm talking about like cigars. This is really interesting to me, and it's not super like heavy and projecting like you think it would be. It actually like settles into the skin really nicely. It's kind of seductive. It's just really interesting. I'm really enjoying my sample. As for upgrading, I don't know, but I do find this to be a very sexy and seductive scent. I am really into it, and I'm looking forward to wearing it on date nights to come. The last sample that I have is Vanille Abricot by Comptoir Pacifique, yeah. And this, I didn't really care for it too much at first, but I do like the way it smells when it's sprayed on my skin versus a tester strip, which I've realized that you can't always tester strip everything. But it's a beautiful, sugary, tropical cake scent. It's really growing on me, honestly. I think it's really yummy. There's notes of jackfruit, pineapple, apricot, as well as papaya, vanilla, and sugar. And I just think it's a really, really nice scent. From my understanding, you can find them on resale sites, pretty affordable as well. So yeah, I am enjoying this sample as well. Now I actually did not really prepare to talk about this one as I just got this sample in the mail today, but I quickly added it to my tray because I feel like it's fitting for the month of January, and it being the coldest it's probably going to get where I live. And this is by Serge Lutens. I have never tried anything by Serge Lutens before, and this is 5 o'clock au gingembre. And this is a really nice, spicy, oh, kind of smells like tea a little bit. There's just a lot going on. I think this is really interesting. I just really am getting a lot of spices here. I am getting a little bit of a herbal quality. I would have to look at the notes. And I am getting something a little bit fresh in here. There may be some type of citrus in here. But this is just a really nice scent. I'm looking forward to wearing it on my skin. I can already tell right now I'm probably not going to grab a full bottle, but I know that I'm going to enjoy wearing it for this month. So yeah, that is my January fragrance tray. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you see anything that you sounded interested, if you saw anything that looked interesting, or if you saw a fragrance that you know and love, please feel free to mention that down below. Or are there any fragrances on your January fragrance tray that are sticking out to you in specific, or you're just really loving this month? I would love to know. I'm always looking for new scents to try, and I love talking to you guys. So with that being said, thank you so much, guys, for making it to the end. I love you guys always. Bye.